Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation on Scoop.it. Scoop.it is an interesting little device that will allow you to essentially search the internet for topics that are of interest to you without actually having to make the search yourself. It's automated. It checks to see things that it thinks that you would find interesting based on the tags that you give it, and then from there you decide what you're going to keep or scoop, and what you're going to discard. Things that you keep end up going into your little magazine of topics, and they can be viewed by people in different ways depending on the type of account that you have. I'm going to talk about the cost here for a second. Scoop.it is free. There are two other versions that are at a monthly um, service fee, that allow you to do a little bit more, but for the most part, individuals will only use the free one simply because it allows them to do what they want to do. The pro version allows you to have analytics behind um, your brand and find out like where people are coming from and the type of traffic that you're getting to your site. You also have a little more flexibility with the type of links and text that you can add to your scoops with the pro version. The business version is a little bit more extended off of the pro version to the point where you essentially can host your own Scoop.it from your website, from your web server, and it's personalized to your specifications instead of off of Scoop.it specifications. So it's definitely great for branding if you're going to be in that milieu of work. I'm going to now move on to its uses, which I've kind of covered a little bit already. As you can see, Scoop.it is used to help organize. It's really, really great because you give it tags, and we're going to see later in the screenshots what these tags are, but you give it tags, and from there it decides what it's going to pull from search engines, Twitter, Facebook, news organizations, and from there you get to choose what you're going to actually put into your magazine, the content that you're going to put in your magazine. Before you stick it in your magazine, you can actually make little comments on it or annotate it, either to agree, disagree, or ask questions, post questions to people, and see if they might give a response of sorts. Why would you use Scoop.it? It's really an interesting, as I said before, it's really great for getting information because it automatically does it. If you know a topic that you're trying to find a lot of information about, it's going to find it all for you, and then you just basically go through and decide what you're going to get from it. It can also be used for people that want to display a magazine of something that just isn't something is just interesting to them. As we'll see later again in the screenshots, it's pretty interesting how it's displayed, and it's very visually stimulating. It's not clunky or anything like that. And again, as I said before, businesses can customize it for their branding needs. Individuals might use it for various reasons. It's very convenient, as I said before. You can create a magazine as well. It's not going to be as tailored as the business one is going to be, but it's definitely still visually stimulating. It's not hard on the eyes. Also, if you're into personal branding or finding out your internet presence, you can attempt to set up tags that specifically are going to find things that you might have been involved with or have started, and see how far it penetrates into the interweb. However, that's a little bit more erring on the side of the pro version. However, you can get away with some of that still with the free version. Businesses are going to use it again for, as I said before, a little bit more extensive as far as the branding and analytics side of things. And again, they can host it on their own websites. Here's some screenshots. The first one, this is an example of when you decide to start a new topic for your magazines. So this would be its own magazine. It's NYC Nightlife. You can then decide the URL, of course, has to be unique. It can't be one that's already used. And then you can give a description to it. Looking back, I might have made the description a little bit more detailed on this one, but this isn't the first time I've used Scoop.it, so I really didn't know. And you can edit this from after you've made it, which is good because if you go down to the keywords part of it, I made my keywords a little too broad in the beginning, and it scooped up some information that was a little bit further out of the circles of what I was actually aiming for. I think I had typed in lounge or bar or something like that without putting NYC into it, and it was getting stuff from like Bar Association and all this other stuff. It wasn't pinpointed enough. So you definitely need to make sure the parameters of your keywords or tags are going to be spot on to what exactly you're looking for. From there, you save it, and then after you do that, it's going to search the web. It can take a few minutes before it gives you any results, and it will continue to search, and you can see, I don't know if you see right up there, there's the number, it's NYC Nightlife, and then I think there's a 50 next to it. That will actually continue to go up until it's done finding the information within reason for the last couple of days, or a couple of months maybe even. But then from there you can decide whether or not you're going to scoop it, which is that green button right there, or you can discard it. More times than not, when I did this, I think I scooped around 20 topics and I discarded probably 60 or more of them because they weren't necessarily A, interesting, or B, entirely on topic of what I was going for. But once you click that Scoop It button, that green button, it comes up with this little pop-up, this light box, that you can decide if you have more than one magazine, you can choose which one it's appropriate for. Say you thought that this was going to be in your Nightlife magazine, but this is more on topic of what you want to do on a Sunday instead of Nightlife. And you might have a, this is what I do on Sundays magazine. So you could drop down and be like, okay, this is going to go on this one instead. As you can see, it gives a picture if there's a picture. Some of them didn't have pictures. Some of them are RSS feeds, and they weren't did not have pictures associated with them. And then it gives a little description. All of them have descriptions. And then it has the opportunity for you to annotate and give a comment. I'm not quite sure why it has the biz thing there. I did annotate a few, and I don't pay for the business package, so I'm not entirely sure what that's about. But from what I can tell, it's free for that part because they don't have my credit card information. From there, you can also decide if you're going to share it on your social media sites. You can click on Facebook or Twitter. That's what I have linked up to it at the moment, but they had a wide array of other social media platforms that you can link it to. And funnily enough, actually, there's a couple that were only for the pro version, and there's more options available for the pro version when you're doing Facebook and Twitter. It wasn't entirely specific, but it did say that you have the option of using RSS if you have the pro version, and you can't, I guess, if you have the free version. And excuse me, and you can access more than one social media site within the same, or with different usernames rather, if you have the pro version, so you can have multiple pages. So let's go back to that one actually. So after you decided what you're going to say and where you're going to publish it, if you're going to publish it anywhere else or share it anywhere else other than on Scoop.it, you click publish. And once you do that, after you've got quite a few of these topics in a row, then it's going to come up and this is going to be your magazine. I think, as I said, I got about 21 views, but I think I have about 20 things that I had scooped. Oops. And yeah, so this is what it looks like. I don't think any of these ones I annotated. However, I did annotate a few of the ones below, and I did share some of them on my Facebook, and it generated a few views apparently, because I don't know how else people would see it, because there wasn't really a Nightlife presence on Scoop.it before. There was a couple things that weren't really attended, and I think I might keep up with this actually after the classes ended, because it is pretty interesting. Yeah, and I actually might even think about using this to do a term paper next time, because it really did search pretty well. I mean, obviously you're not going to get the most reputable sources all the time, but that's the purpose of scooping and discarding these posts that come up. So yeah, now I will leave it open for any questions. Thank you.